here.
All right, I believe the recording has started, so Rini is going to conduct this meeting.
All right. Well, today is August 15th, and we have our meeting of the treasure chest, and we have an agenda, and I think we have a quorum, and welcome everyone. And our old business is to accept our committee meetings of July 1st. So why don't we take a minute and let people catch their breath and read the minutes of July 1st.
And I want to point out right away that I left off Eileen's last name in alternate members. That needs, so I will put that in on the submitted copy. And also, I should, under new committee members needed, Sharon, I should say Sharon Mitchell, not just Sharon.
She's new.
She is a volunteer who has shown an interest in being on the committee, but has not yet followed through, to my
Okay.
knowledge. And the second to last line, a motion to adjourn, not of adjourn.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes of July 1st. All in favor?
Oh, you have to have someone second it.
Okay, second?
Second.
Eileen seconded it.
Okay. And our new business is,
All in favor?
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Okay.
Our new business is approval of new volunteers.
No,
No,
one more old business.
I'm sorry, reorganization of the treasure chest committee is our old business, okay.
Yes.
anyone have any discussion about the reorganization of the committee? I know Ellie is going to be, we agreed that Ellie would be clerk, and Jean seconded the motion. And I know there was a motion to keep me as vice chair, and that's fine with me.
Okay, so I had a discussion with the clerk this week, and in effect, when we have no chair, the vice chair is the chair. So you've been the chair for the past month.
Wonderful.
But we still need to have a chair in place. So one of the options we talked about was putting someone in chair for 3 months. And then at the end of 3 months, another person on the committee would be chair.
So kind of rotate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
What are the jobs of the chair?
Well, we talked about it at a previous meeting. It was something that kind of had to be invented as we got going. So, I mean, it was, you know, making sure that the assignment board was current with people that were not going to be there, and the gate list. It's answering to the public if a question comes up. But it's, you know, the chair defers to other committee members in a lot of ways. So it's not, you know, a thing only one person can do. I think there's ways we can share.
And what is the responsibility of the chair as far as volunteering, you know, on Saturday and Sunday? Are they expected to be there both days?
The chair?
Yeah.
No,
No.
no,
Okay.
yeah. I think, you know, no committee members are expected to be at the site.
Okay. No, I was just wondering because it
Yeah. I think
seemed like you were there a lot.
I was there a lot, yeah. And maybe I shouldn't have been.
Well, I just wonder if that was like one of the things, because it actually is nice when you did come in just to check in.
Yeah.
But I just wondered if that was official or just
No.
something you did.
It's something I did.
Okay.
But I think there must be ways that, you know, the different things that have to happen
Right.
can be spread out, you know, to let different people do it.
Yeah.
So the one conversation I had with Link a while ago, he kind of thought it was a good idea to have someone from the committee at each shift.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, he wasn't saying we have to do it, but he thought it would be, you know, kind of a good message if someone from the committee is there at each of the 4 shifts.
Okay.
He seemed to be able to do it, you know, for the most part.
So can you review some of the things you just said the role of the chair would be? Ellie, I heard you say that the assignment board is current, so there's an assignment board that the chair makes out and leaves at the treasure chest by 10 o'clock Saturday morning. Is that what happens?
Yeah, there's a whiteboard that says who works each shift.
Who works each shift, and how do they know that? Do the shift attendees contact the chair and say they're coming in at a certain
Yeah,
time?
these volunteers have committed to working the shift.
So how does the chair know they committed? That's what I'm wanting to know, to fill out the board.
So it's
Um,
mostly if somebody can't come in, isn't that what it is?
Right, the names have been put up there a long time ago,
Okay,
and they
so
stay there. And if someone cannot come in, we make a note next to their name that they won't be there. And then if we have a sub that can fill in for them, we note that also on the board.
so if they cannot come in, it's listed, and then
Any subs are listed,
any subs are listed.
yeah.
So the chair would be required to go there at 10 o'clock and make sure the board's current, right?
No,
Or
yeah,
shortly after?
9 o'clock, yeah.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much work that gets done during the week. You know, as chair, I used to go there by Friday and make sure that the board reflected who was going to be there Saturday and Sunday. So that whoever, came in first saw right away. Other than that,
Yeah, there's a calendar there to write if there's a specific shift you can't cover.
right. So the calendar is a way of letting the chair know that,
So if you went there on a Friday, then people had been in touch with you that they couldn't do a
Right.
shift that weekend. So
Yeah.
you knew, so you could go make the board current
Right.
before Saturday morning at 9.
Yeah.
That's what I hear. Okay.
yeah.
So obviously you have a key to the,
Right.
Facility.
I'd almost like all of us to have keys, but
yeah, I don't have a key.
I haven't,
I don't
I
know.
haven't been able to get Deb one because she's a regular Tuesday, but, other than that, I mean, it's not anything other committee members or volunteers, capable volunteers are able to do. And I think we as a committee have to adhere to the idea that there has to be a chair, whether it's for the whole year or just in three-month increments.
The 3-month increments is a little less scary.
Okay, that's good to know. And
It's
then-
just personalities, you
Mhm.
know. I was in management for a long time, and boy, it's tough with different people's personalities.
It is.
Some people are easy and some are tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good to hear, Deb, that you, what do you think, Eileen? A 3-month increment doesn't feel as onerous,
Onerous. Yeah.
Yeah. While you were talking, I was thinking also, it's I've seen it a number of times, and, I'm there just 2 days. When the select people or the, come by
Oh,
and they're talking to people while they're there.
oh, I didn't know
Or-
that.
Yeah.
You mean like
Yeah.
running for office
No,
or just?
no, they just, there's a
Chatting.
couple of them, yeah,
Oh.
they come as customers, or they come over and chat for, a few minutes, and there's usually somebody that, has an issue or something, or I've seen, I don't know their names, but I've seen, a couple of the guys intervene in talking with, people, I was gonna say customers, but I don't
Yeah,
know if
that's what we
that's the
call
right
them.
word.
Yeah.
And people like that,
Yeah.
coming there. I don't think I've seen too many problems when I've been there, but I'm only there, 2 shifts. And,
Problems that a committee member would need to handle, you mean? That,
sometimes, people are, I don't think I've seen real heavy problems.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, people wanting to, hassle a little bit about something that they want to leave
Leave.
behind, and people are saying we don't take that, and, some disappointment behind that, and sometimes the kids run around a little bit, but I don't think it's been bad enough that, I've intervened with parents or something and saying, watch your kids or something like that.
so the
But-
follow-through, you think, can be handled by other committee members, other volunteers?
Well, but I also think the people coming there, if they know that one of the select persons are there, they like to see that. It's not a requirement, but, and it's good PR for the person who's gonna.
So you're saying you've seen people from the select board?
Yeah,
Okay, because I don't know them, so I wouldn't know if they were there or not.
I don't know them by sight, but, one of the other volunteers there said, he's the select person or something like that. I have had some folks who want to argue a bit about having to get a pass to come through. But otherwise, they're workable. They don't like them, because they want to empty out their house or something like that, and if there's a difference in whether or not the people who are looking over this stuff, they might hassle a little bit about why something wasn't being taken. So,
Yeah, it happens.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's a good way that, for the select folks to, see who's there, and
Mhm.
the town people get to see that, that they have leadership there.
How about you, Mary, any?
I think the 3-month thing is better,
Mm-hmm.
or the co-chair thing. I don't know if they do things like that, if you have to have a chair and a vice chair, or can you just have co-chairs?
You can't.
Can't,
No.
okay. But the 3 months is all right, it's just this 3 months isn't good for me.
No, and
Well, I would
we
do it,
respect that.
yeah, I would do it these 3 months, but I don't want to do it
Okay.
all year. I mean, I would do it if we rotated.
Yeah.
And then frankly, I'd be happy to team up. If I'm the chair, a 3-month chair, I'm not real excited. I don't have a lot of expertise in this either. So I'd be contacting on committee members to run things by.
Sure.
Ellie,
Yeah.
either one of you.
Oh, I
Because
intend-
I don't volunteer, so you
Mhm.
all have a better handle on what goes on than I do. And, I'm certainly happy to help.
Well, I also, I see it all the time, because I'm there every weekend for my shift. And it really, there hasn't been a whole lot of trouble there, but I was never like trained, so to speak, or, had any expertise with them about dealing with or irate or,
It's all
troublesome.
on-the-job training.
But
I don't think anyone was.
we do have our
I should tell you that
Well,
I'm
you
psychiatric
shadow.
nurses, I was the chief too, and I'm thinking like, geez, not again.
we have our operational plan of what to do if there's trouble.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
and then that's why we have the walkie-talkie. And so we've, that was one hurdle we had to,
Can we review that? You have the walkie-talkie, and if
Mhm.
there's a problem, and then I know there's someone you can call.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if we'd call Jeff Handler, who,
No,
no.
no.
So who would we call?
I forget the 4 steps, but, it's like it's severe, more severe,
Right.
call in the guards.
I'm talking about the most severe.
Most severe.
Because I would think our goal would be to diffuse any situation.
Right.
And we can talk about
Most
that.
severe is 911, call
Yeah.
911.
Yeah.
But leading up to that, use the walkie-talkie to notify the gatehouse, notify Cody down at the gatehouse, or get help from there.
Yeah.
Who's Cody? He runs the dump?
He's in the operational part of it, yeah. He's one of the young men that does a good job.
Mhm.
He's sometimes at the scale house.
Mhm. Oh, the scale.
And we have his extension?
Yep,
It's good.
so.
So he could come and help the
Right.
person, support the person, and diffuse the situation too.
Correct, yeah.
Good.
So we have that, Eileen, in place that, you brought up that you weren't trained, to
right, right.
handle any really outrageous situations, but we've all been informed
Okay.
how to proceed.
Is there someone that you recommend that I talk to? Just go
It's on the
through it?
board.
Oh, it's on the board?
Yeah,
In the
it's
back
in-
room there,
It's
or?
in the kitchen.
In the,
Oh, in the kitchen?
Yeah, there's
Oh,
a
okay.
4-step.
And you know what you can
Oh,
do,
okay.
we could all do, is, I'm going to do that, you could take a picture of it with your phone, and then you'd have it for yourself to
All right.
review, you know what I mean, which
Mm.
would be helpful.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you hand out paper, you're not going to have the paper in your pocket when you have a situation. But I think if it's on your phone, you could, review it, go in the bathroom or whatever.
Okay. I'll look at that.
Because it's nice to know that's there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we worked hard for it,
Yep.
Mhm.
so.
Mhm.
And I would think if there's a situation too, if someone would say, like if Debbie and you were on, that you'd say, gee, will you come stand with me?
Mhm.
Or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Sure, yeah.
In other words,
Oh, yeah.
I think strength in numbers, and nobody, you don't have to talk as the second one.
right.
To me, you just be there, because
Here.
I would think our goal always is to diffuse a situation.
Oh,
Because we all know
absolutely.
there's some upset people up there, there could be somebody under the influence of someone, there could be someone who's not emotionally stable. So,
Yeah.
I would think, but I think we all do that naturally, frankly. If you're at the store
Sure.
or you're on a sidewalk and you see someone, you know how not to fuel the fire,
So do you think we can move on from, in that item of
Station of the treasure checks. Well, it sounds to me that,
That we'll do
I don't know if we
3
need to make a motion,
We
but
do, yeah.
we do.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I make a motion that the chair would, we'd take turns as chairs, 3 months at a time. And we talked a little bit about the role of the chair. And I think that I'll talk to Ellie maybe afterwards and try to put a list in our meetings of what the role is. You know, I wrote a few things down, but I know it's kind of, you pinch hit whatever comes up that you need to.
And there was a meeting where Ellie did try to,
It's in past minutes, yeah.
yeah, it's in
Good.
past
Oh, good.
minutes.
Yeah,
Well, I'm going to try to, since we're doing it we're going to do it for 3 months each. I think it'd be nice if we could, maybe you can even send it to me and I can put it in the minutes, that we'd revisit it and put it.
I'm gonna be
in
doing
this-
the minutes.
Oh, good, so you're
Yeah,
going to do the minutes, so
yeah.
you'll have it in there.
Yeah,
But I think for all of us being new 3-month chairs, it would help us to see some of the responsibilities.
right, and that, so the motion is that the chair be shared in 3-month increments by all committee members?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
So a chair doesn't have to be available every weekend,
No.
just as long as they get the schedule up. So if there's a problem at the treasure chest, do you call Cody? Or like the boxes? Why can't we have Public Works just every Wednesday pick up the boxes?
Their schedule is so, they are out straight in DPW,
Really?
and I think they do a wonderful job. It's very,
Yeah, they don't really let it get too messy there.
no,
Yeah.
yeah, I really admire how.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to have to hold them to a Wednesday, and if they missed it.
But like when you couldn't open a couple of times, you just called them down at the Cody,
Right. Yeah, there was a series of, I had to call the.
weather or something
the
not
weather.
working.
I had to call the rest of you guys first to make sure we could close. And then we had to let the gatehouse know, we had to let Cody know.
Mhm.
And then we had to make signs. And then,
When we closed early, you're talking about?
Or weather, or
Or weather,
whether
yeah.
the blower
Yeah.
wasn't working, or
Yeah,
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 2
Power
summers ago,
shortage.
it got very hot. And
Yeah.
we closed early.
yeah,
And.
I think you had no power to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Caitlin one time, and Caitlin has made up a couple of big signs for us that we can put outside. And it's at the discretion of the committee.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The chair will say, I think we should close,
Mhm.
and then the rest of the committee hopefully supports the chair.
Mhm.
you know.
And I know it sounds basic, but Caitlin made big signs. Are those right in the facility?
Yes.
In the little, quote, office part?
Yep, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's labor, but a good chair would ask somebody to go and help them, put the signs up.
Or you just sign it and hang them on the fence?
Yeah.
Is that-
Yeah, we, a couple of sawhorses and, but once the gates are closed, that's kind of a message,
Mhm.
to the public too.
Yeah.
yeah,
And we can just say weather related.
yeah.
All right, so the motion is as stated. Do you want to ask for a second,
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 David?
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, anybody opposed? And since I'm the chair for the first 3 months, I know Ellie's given us phone numbers for everything, but I'm going to take them again. Because if I couldn't do it on a Friday, I may ask for someone to help, and vice versa. I think it would be nice if we could team, and if somebody else can't go on a Friday to do it. And I think the role of the chair too, I know Ellie's done and gotten the key. And I know that's another thing, to get the key. Do you get it the day of?
No, I can't, I always have a key. Debbie
No, I'm
always
talking
has.
about to get in this room.
Oh,
Oh, to get in this room.
to get in this room.
Because I know we need to sign up for the room and get a key to get in the building sometimes
Right.
in the winter we have,
Yeah,
right?
so you can ask somebody to help you do that, or you can do it yourself.
so would that be August, September, and October for Rennie?
Really, yeah,
I'm just trying to figure out when the next one would be due.
Our next meeting, I don't think is until November.
Oh, okay,
So it's working out nicely if she is the chair until the first.
So I'd be a chair until November?
Right,
And would I be a chair at the November meeting and then we
Yes.
pass the wand?
yep, we'd have to, yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
Makes you feel powerful, right?
I mean, when I talked to the clerk the other day, I mean, they want us to be able to do it. They're so sincere. And, you know, she said, well, maybe, you know, the person will find that it's not so hard and they can go longer than 3 months,
Mhm.
you know.
Well, I think it's nice to call and ask for help because it lets us all get our feet wet a little bit.
Yes, yeah.
So,
And not make it seem like one person is
right,
making
yeah.
the decision.
Well, the truth is, none of us have expertise in this, so,
I
you know,
know.
we're all kind of winging it, so it makes it easier to wing it together.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think we all have different skill sets, so.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Well, that is great. I feel so good that you're in favor of this, because it's been hanging over my head.
And you'll stay clerk, which is wonderful.
I'll stay clerk.
Good.
Yep. So we can move on to new business?
Okay. New business, so maybe we can speak a little bit about approval of new volunteers and
I can speak on that.
how many new volunteers do we have?
So I put this item on the agenda because our charge states that we are the ones that are responsible for approving a volunteer. It's not Link, it's us. And so I just thought maybe every meeting that should be an item. Are there any new volunteers we have to approve?
Okay.
Today, no new volunteers need approval.
How do you sort of advertise for new volunteers?
It's kind of word of mouth.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
Yeah, it's been,
How about Facebook?
I know, and did you say Cindy in the past has posted things, but Cindy is resigned from
she's not on the committee, but she's a volunteer and she's very
Yeah.
involved.
I will contact Cindy and ask her because I do think, you know, we used to post if we were going to open late, if we didn't have heat or this or that. So I think it would be nice if we post on Facebook that for anyone who's
Mhm.
interested. And then who would we have them contact? 'Cause I don't think we want to give a phone number on, in other words, Facebook. I wouldn't.
No, right.
Is there an application or?
What has to happen, if a person is interested, we get their name. I have me as chair, I always took the name and arranged for them to come to shadow a shift. And then after they had shadowed a shift, they go down to the DPW office to fill out paperwork. It's basically name, address, phone number, you know, where emergency contact person. And then,
Do they do a query?
nope.
No. And they don't have to do those silly things we do, the tests.
The conflict of interest, no.
So then they'd go to the DPW office for an application.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they could just say to come by the treasure chest on Saturday and Sunday between 9 and 3 to give their name,
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
and then we wouldn't have to involve any phone numbers, and then we
Right.
could get the name, and then, I mean, anybody can just say, well, come next Saturday afternoon to
It's
shadow.
a good idea because people are there.
Yeah,
The
Yeah.
other thing I was thinking, and we could, people at the gate should all know that if we have someone who comes in who does not have a sticker who says they're interested in volunteering, that please let them go in and speak to
mm-hmm.
Right.
the volunteers, and they
Right.
could leave their name and information, and
Yeah.
then we could follow up. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Could leave a clipboard there, volunteers needed.
Yeah?
People could sign right up when they're
Oh,
walking.
that's-
Yeah,
a good
that's
idea.
true, that's a good idea,
Right
yeah.
at that counter, maybe hang it up there.
Yeah.
Because a couple of weeks ago, I just started, you know, because when I came in for my shift at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was really very few people there, so I just started coming in at 11 instead of 1. But I didn't know I was supposed to tell people. They just knew I was there, and they knew it, that I do stuff there. But is there a formal way I should have done that?
No, because you're a committee member, so
Oh, okay.
you kind of rise above the.
I'm my own committee.
Yeah, you're special. No, we count on you on the afternoon shift, and you know, I
Okay.
think you've seen that it's helpful if you're there a little earlier. and
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Well, I
you
get bored at home and I said, oh, okay, I'll go up in an hour
I think you
early.
started in the winter when we were doing winter hours, so the afternoon shift was 12:30. So we're glad you, whenever you come, we're always glad to see you. So that takes care of that item.
Yeah. Yeah, so if we get their contact information, then I would contact the person and invite them to a shift and ask them if they like the shift, to ask them to go to the DPW office. And where's the DPW office?
It's right there on Queen Anne Road.
Oh, okay, I've been there.
Just
So
be-
that's where I went and got the sign.
Yeah, which is Joni.
Yeah. And you just mentioned, would we need to get a sign to put up that we're looking for volunteers?
It would, yeah, I mean, I think even a sign at the gate saying
Volunteers
need
needed.
volunteers.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. And tell me, do you know any contact people? I used to know the lady's name, and she retired, who helped me with signs in the past.
In Link's office
In
at
Link's,
DPW,
yeah.
her name is Caitlin, Caitlyn Smith,
That's
and she's
easy.
wonderful.
And she's in Link's office.
Yeah.
And so she might make us a sign for volunteers.
She-
I'll follow up. And if we have a sign, volunteers needed, would we just say volunteers needed? I don't think we need to specify the shift times or anything.
Grab them, however we get them.
Yeah, let's just say volunteers needed, and then we could say in smaller letters, if interested, stop by Saturday or Sunday, and give us your,
If you want, yeah, I think just.
just
yeah.
volunteers needed.
Yeah, yeah, they'll know enough to ask someone,
You think they'll know enough to ask someone in there? Okay.
make it simple.
Could we do, I was gonna say we could do the DPW phone number, but. they
I
wouldn't
mean,
have
you
it.
could say ask at desk, because we are assigned behind the,
Yeah, I think
Yes, there.
volunteer needed, yes, and I think they
Yes.
would want to know, like, if someone's fooling around, so,
Ask if that's
please,
perfect.
please ask at the desk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask at the desk.
because that's
it.
where I went when I wanted to volunteer.
So the other
So please
item-
contact the desk if interested.
Yeah.
Okay, and exempting volunteer from gate duty is the
Okay,
next step.
this is a discussion item that I don't know if we'll be able to take action on tonight, but it's an idea that I think we need to throw out there. We have a procedure of everyone is supposed to take a gate duty. We have four people, now three, Bev is, I'm pretty sure no longer with us, that are exempt from it. And everyone knows who those people are. I'm proposing that another person be added to that list.
What would require someone to
Why
be
is
exempted?
Why are they exempted? Do you want me to tell each person and why?
No.
Oh,
Is it- I mean, it's,
It was an agreement by the committee that they were not, didn't do as good a job out there as,
Oh.
and I don't want to say this nicely, but the personalities were.
you're nice.
Yeah,
You're too nice.
So some do better than
So,
others.
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And so leaving them exempt made it, open to everyone, that's the way it was.
Hmm.
And that's good, because we didn't lose them then as volunteer
Right,
either.
I know.
If they,
So I'm proposing that Sheila be exempt from gate duty. Sheila Eldridge is someone that I count on to open on Saturday,
yeah.
but she resists taking the duty as much as she can.
Mhm.
And it
Oh, I see.
causes bad feelings among the other
Sure.
volunteers. And I don't know how to
What causes the bad feelings? I missed that.
that she won't take a slot at the gate.
But I think one of the things that came up one day when I came in on Sunday was that, well, I'm not feeling well, I don't want to do it. And my opinion is if you're not feeling well, then you shouldn't be here at all. Because everybody needs to take a turn. If you want to exempt her for a reason, that's fine. But I just think, some days it's really hard because I think we kind of decided that the shift people on the desk should be sure, or maybe it's Heather, anyway. Because I'll go back and look at the book and there's nobody signed up. And I usually will walk around and I'll say, will you take it at 2? And you know, most people will if you go up and ask them directly, but it's, you know, and some days the book is signed up, but some it's not at all.
There's a vast difference between the morning and afternoon, too, I think. That
Well, the
afternoon-
morning doesn't, I think that sometimes they do it, but they don't write it in the book. I mean, I've come in at 12 and and I'm like, did you cover the gate this morning?
Mhm.
And they'll be like, oh, yeah,
Yeah, their own version of it,
yeah.
yeah. So I don't know how to cure people of that.
How long's the shift for the?
Half hour.
Oh, a half hour.
Yeah.
So that's
Very
reasonable.
doable. It's very
Yeah, that's
doable, but-
reasonable.
But she,
Well, I think since she's been,
resistant?
well, no, I think since she's given to the treasure chest in other ways, I think I wouldn't want to lose her, so I think certainly she should be exempt.
You'd be in favor of
Yes, I would be in
exempting
favor of her being
It's okay
exempt.
with me.
You'd be in favor of exempting
Because
her?
if she, you know, it sounds like she's consistently responsible and helping.
She is.
a lot,
Yeah, I
so-
mean, I counted her. and-
I think that's important,
Yeah,
you know?
so this would be a committee vote.
Mhm.
What do you think, Eileen?
Well, the puzzlement for me is that if somebody says that, you know, they just don't like being, you know, doing the gate duty, what would cause somebody to, you know, other than they just didn't like to deal with people coming through the gate or something or other? And it's not really fair, particularly in the winter,
Mhm.
when the rest of the folks are out there for a half hour. It seems somewhat,
Mhm. How long has she been there?
Years.
Years.
Oh.
And she's also there every morning early to
Yeah.
oh,
open up.
really?
Yeah.
So I mean, and she gets things going. She brings things. I mean, she's
She
that,
does a lot for
she
the
does
treasure
that
chest.
piece of it
Yeah.
in the
Mhm.
morning,
Yeah.
and I love it. So I'm not complaining at all, and I'll stay often as anytime I can stay. I stay longer, but you know, I think sometimes maybe she's earned a pass.
Yeah, because the other three have earned it.
Mm-hmm.
The other three that we have exempted
Oh,
have earned, I think have earned it.
But she does do a lot.
She does. And the, the alternative would be, okay, you're not doing it, you're not a volunteer anymore. And I don't want that.
Yeah,
You know,
Sure.
We need the volunteers.
You would- Yeah.
it's not a hard job.
Oh, I could sit there and read.
Well, you chat with people.
People.
Yeah.
I cleaned all the
Town
trash
greeter.
behind the building
Yeah.
last week.
See, I think it is different personalities.
Yeah.
The truth is,
Exactly.
I mean, we'd have a real problem because you can't accept everyone because then you have no one doing it.
Right,
Right.
right.
But I think if someone's paid their dues and they've been a big help to the organization, I do think we need to consider that.
Yeah.
you
Well,
know?
and she lifts, she'll unpack cars. I mean, she does all the heavy lifting that a lot of people don't want to do.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I just think we need to leave her where she is, happy.
I don't know most of the people there.
Well, she's a morning person, so you might
Yeah.
not know her
No,
as well.
I've always been afternoons.
Yeah.
You know.
And then I started backing up into 11 and stuff like that,
So you
just
get
to
to-
give extra, because there was, the first time, about a month ago or so, I went down there and there was very few people working there,
Yeah.
so.
I appreciate it. So it has, we have to vote on this.
I think as long as the committee decides who is exempt and non-exempt, then I think that's a
The
fine.
way it is,
Yeah.
And I think if we don't have coverage for the gate sometime, I think when people drive around, if they're gonna drop things off, then I think those who go out to get the items would
Double
look
check.
and see
Oh.
if they have a sticker.
Absolutely.
And, and those, they'd kind of be surrogate gate people too, whether, even though
Right.
they're not sitting in the little
Yeah,
gatehouse.
that's a good point.
So I think,
Yeah.
you just do the best you can.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and we do. In bad weather, if it's, nobody, there are no people coming in,
Sure,
we don't
sure.
send anyone out there.
Do we have a sign on the gate that says sticker required?
It does say Town of Harwich only. I know there's something
I
that
know, but
says
it's
that.
sticker required. See, town of Harwich is misleading. There's people
Yeah.
that don't have a sticker
Yeah.
that are in the town of
I'm
Harwich.
trying to think that we have so many little signs
I
here
know.
and there that, I'm thinking there must be one, but, it could be, if there isn't one.
Yeah.
I haven't had too much trouble at all.
I haven't
about
either.
people. Yeah.
But it would just, for the times that the gate isn't covered,
Yeah.
and somebody gets all the way over there
Yeah.
and starts unloading, and they say, no sticker.
Mm.
Yeah.
it's right
Well,
there
they
on the
do
gate.
that whether you tell them no or not. I
Yeah.
mean, I've told people, no, you need to just go all the way around, and then all of a sudden you walk up and they're unloading their car.
Yeah, but they're not supposed to unload their car, are they? Or isn't that
They're
what the-
not supposed to, they're supposed to go around to the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this happened to me. I had told someone no, and then
They just
I went to
leave you
tell
off, yeah.
somebody to tell them
Yeah.
that this person wants to drop the stuff off, but they don't have a sticker,
Mhm.
and they were unloading themselves in the front.
Mhm.
There is a sign there that says Harwich residents only.
Yeah.
There is, but you can be people have come in and said, well, I'm a Harwich resident. I
And they
said,
would have their registration for their car, but you still need the
Right.
you
sticker.
need
Right.
that sticker.
Well, if someone would notice, I'm gonna exchange phone numbers after the meeting, and, people could text, but if you do notice that, I'll get a sign made for that too. Volunteers needed, and then sticker required, because I think that just makes it clearer.
Yeah.
That would be
for
good, I
everyone.
think, under the sign that says Harwich residents
Yeah.
only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I get
So-
lots of stuff that people say that, well, I don't want to put a sticker on my car, and I
Oh,
point out to
no.
them, you have an inspection sticker, you have a sticker on your
Your
license. you-
yacht club sticker.
But the stickers, actually, I've told people, they're not, they don't leave the residue like a sticker with a lot of adhesive. They're
Yeah.
like those color forms that you put on windows.
Yeah.
And then once you tell them that, usually they're a little better about
Oh,
putting it
yeah,
on.
yeah. I think you can do that, in a nice way. I don't diss people for that, but
So
I
can we
just,
have a motion? I think
Wait.
for this, we have to do a voice vote. So what the motion would be,
To exempt Sheila?
Yes, to exempt Sheila Eldridge from gate duty.
okay?
All in favor?
Aye.
And I want to take a vote.
Second?
Second?
Who, you made the motion?
That, all in favor, and I didn't hear anyone.
No, we need a motion seconded
Second?
by Deb.
Okay.
And then each one has to vote. So Deb, you voted,
Yes.
Eileen, you voted yes,
yes.
Yes.
Mary voted yes.
I voted yes.
Yes. Okay, that has to be reflected in the minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Then we have open session.
Does anyone have anything?
I just wanted to not talk about today, but maybe for the next meeting, we could talk about people making major changes in the treasure chest, because that was ridiculous. I mean, that was probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, or maybe a month, or maybe 5 or 6 weeks ago, but where people made major changes to where things were. So first of all, you go in and you're like, where is stuff? And I think that should be a committee decision, I mean, not like little stuff. I mean, like the kitchen stuff, you could move over a little into something else, but they had made major changes and it was not good. And the reason that I'm bringing this up is because my name came up that I said something and I wasn't even there. It was like, and Debbie's, and so-and-so said this, and I'm like, I wasn't even there. So I just think that if people want to make changes, they should propose it and then the board can consider it.
So that would be, because I think that would be a good discussion for all,
Okay.
all committee members.
I don't do it because I don't know where anything goes.
So do we make a motion on this?
No, that's,
That's just something to bring up for the next
next-
meeting.
we'll put
Okay.
it on our
Next
next
meeting,
agenda.
okay.
Okay.
The layout of the treasure chest.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. So, I was in touch with Eric to see when we should meet again. And I threw out a couple dates that are not good for him. And we came up with November 7th or 14th.
Oh, November 7th's my birthday.
Oh.
So maybe we should
make
do
it
the 14th.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think we want you to have a
I
fun.
might be going
We
out
want
to
you to have
dinner
a
or
fun
something.
birthday.
Yeah. And that's right after the election. I just am worried about that whole week,
Oh.
right after the election. I think the next week, people will be a little bit more settled.
Yeah.
Not that our meetings are unsettled, but,
Yeah.
okay.
So at 5 o'clock,
So 5
November
o'clock,
14th at 5
Thursday,
o'clock.
I don't have a count,
It's a
Thursday the
Thursday,
14th.
Yep,
November 14th,
14, yeah.
5 PM, and that's the next meeting
Yep,
In the small room.
in the small room?
This room
This
is
is
the
called
small
this
room.
one.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Next door is the big room.
So I guess I will sign up to the room.
you have to make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, I make a motion to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Oh, somebody has to second it.
Second.
Who, Eileen?
Eileen,
Okay.
second it.
All in favor?
Favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Now I can turn off the recording.